At Jackson Water, we are in the game and locked in on our goals. Every day, our dedicated teams are hard at work, ensuring that clean, reliable water flows to every home and business in Jackson. We are not just fixing pipes. We're investing in a brighter, more resilient future for our city. Jackson Water, water for all the time.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me for Wlbt Plus. My name is Kara Shirley, your digital news desk host, and I am joined today by the mayor of Ridgeland, Mayor Jean McGee, and the CEO of Explore Ridgeland, Chris Chapman. And they are with us today to talk about the Freedom Ridge expansion, or Freedom Ridge Park expansion. So this was on the ballot before, and it's going to be on the ballot again on the 3rd, correct?
That's right, June 3rd. We will have it on the ballot, and we want to just urge our citizens to get out and vote. Obviously, the legislation requires us to have 60% of those that vote to vote affirmative, and this is such an important part of the city of Ridgeland and the park expansion that we really need to get done. And so I'm just excited that we've got it on the ballot and that we're going to hopefully get it passed and build the double the size of Freedom Ridge Park.
Yeah. So tell us what all is going to be included in this expansion should it pass.
Okay. Well, we'll have pickleball courts. We'll have the largest pickleball facility in the state, 20 courts. Then a softball facility with turf fields, baseball facility with turf fields, 4 new soccer fields with turf fields, and all of those will allow us to not be so much weather dependent. You know, you can have a rain, but then after the rain's over, you can still play on those. Also, it'll have a place for officials to meet as they, those that referee games. There'll be a place for that. There'll be a pavilion for citizens to enjoy and have recreation, walking trail, and so just a lot of amenities there in the facility.
Chris, tell us, why is this so important for Ridgeland?
Well, Explore Ridgeland is all about getting visitors to Ridgeland and increasing our tourism and our visitor revenue and impact for the city. When you bring more visitors into Ridgeland, then taxpayers have less tax to pay. Mm-hmm. So in the long run, you may pay 50 cents more on a large meal, but at the end of the day, when more visitors are coming in and paying that restaurant and hotel tax, eventually the taxes are going to go down, and the more visitors you bring in, the lower the tax base. On another note, we love to showcase Ridgeland because of our quality of life and because of our lodging facilities and our restaurants and our spas. We're the steakhouse capital of Mississippi. We've got probably more cycling trails than anywhere else in the state, and the mayor can probably tell you a whole lot about that because he is a cyclist himself.
Oh, right. I didn't know that.
Yes, but we're in the business of increasing tourism revenue. Mm-hmm. The best way to do that is to expand your sports complex, and you get more sports tourism in Ridgeland. Coaches have told us you're in the center part of the state. You have the best lodging in the state. You have the best restaurants in the state. You have the best shopping in the state of Mississippi. If you build it, we will come, and we need to build it.
Building a field of dreams.
Right. We need to build it. This is our time.
Let's talk about the tax impact then, because you're talking about there's going to be obviously a tax increase in order to get the money.
Well, there'll be a 1 cent on restaurants and 2 cents on hotels. And to her point, those people coming into the region stay in the hotels, and the large majority who eat in the restaurants will be people from out of town. And so it won't be our citizens paying the tax. But the other side of that is that because we're keeping our economy strong, it does keep the taxes low for our citizens, the taxes on their homes, the taxes on their cars and their businesses. And so therefore we're able to offer we're one of the lowest tax rates in the state of Mississippi. And we're getting a tremendous amount of individuals, coaches, parents who are wanting more and more facilities. We hear every day, your facilities are full and we would like more places to play. And we know from the fact with our Parks and Recreation Director that there are people interested in coming and having tournaments in Ridgeland and being here. And so we need the facility so we can do that. And of course, pickleball is becoming the big deal.
Yeah.
And it's not just for young folks, it's for all ages. And we're having people driving all over the country to play pickleball when we want to have them here.
So the tax of what I read was that it is going to be a temporary tax.
That's right. As soon as we get the facility built, then the tax will go away. It will not be perpetual at all.
So should this be voted on and it makes it, when do you expect that the building would begin and the building would finish?
Well, what we will do, we will immediately hire a architect to put together the plan, and then we would start taking bids. Hopefully, we would be able to start construction of the facility in early 2026, and we would think that the facility could be built in a couple of years.
Okay. Well, let's take a look at the proposed plans that we have coming. So let me get this pulled up here. So this is a good. Sorry about that. I turned off my audio. This is a Google map of it with the overlay of the park. So I'm going to just draw here on the screen. This area up here, that's
the current Freedom Ridge Park now. Mm-hmm. We have 4 soccer fields and then 4 softball fields, smaller fields for mainly softball. Those facilities don't allow for high school or college baseball like we'll have in the new facility. But that is an award-winning park that we have now. And that's Freedom Ridge Phase 1. We also have a handicap playground there. It's called a boundless playground for children to be able to play on, and they can have all kind of handicaps, but there's no limit to them to be able to play on that. And so and also pavilions for picnics and some walking trail also.
And that's all right here in this area.
That's correct. That's right.
Put an X on it, but it's not getting X'd out. It's going to continue. It'll stay there. So this is over here. This is the expansion that you guys are.
That's right. That's the proposed expansion. If you look at the top, you'll see the pickleball courts, 20 of them. And then you come down, the softball is the second thing with turf. And then next is the baseball fields. Those are full-size baseball fields, which will allow us to do high school tournaments, college tournaments, even semi-pro. And then you get down to the full-size soccer fields. Those 4 will be they're full-size. They can be divided up where that you can play, have smaller children playing on them. And we can do flag football, that sort of thing. There's a area that's going to be where the referees and officials that referee games will be able to meet and get their assignments and also turn in their scorecards and all those kind of things. Walking trail and a nice pavilion area for people to have with their families and that sort of thing.
Now, I know there's probably a question that a lot of people are wondering is, what is this going to be taking away? What is here right now in that area?
Well, we've bought a lot of land there, mainly vacant land, actually. There's a few, couple of 3 businesses that we will buy and a few homes, but other than that, it's mainly vacant land. We've been buying land for this for several years.
Several years, preparing for it.
Yes, we have.
Preparing for the field of dreams.
That's right, exactly.
So it's very exciting to see this happen or to see this getting put back on the ballot and for people to vote on. Now, let me show you guys the ballot here so you can see what it is exactly that you will be voting on. Take that away. Here we go. So this is the ballot that people will see on their ballot form when they go to vote in Ridgeland, and it tells exactly what they're voting on, and they just fill in for the tax or against the tax.
That's right. Each ballot will have a space for my office and for an alderman. In the right-hand side, it has this information about the special tax and how much it is, and also the fact that it is a temporary tax. Mm-hmm. And of course, we're encouraging people to vote yes so we can get this thing passed.
Yes. So if people, one thing I was going to say is a lot of people might not think about or know that you're running unopposed.
That's right.
For mayor, and really the only 2 positions that have contested results are a couple of the wards
That's
there.
correct.
And so a lot of people might think, oh, I don't need to go out and vote because my ward or my mayor's already decided.
Right.
So,
But they do need to go out and vote. It's very important that they do that. It's a right that everyone has, and even if they're just voting to get out and vote just for the unopposed and then vote for this particular referendum, it's very important that they do that for sure.
So let's. What is there any other plans that you have coming for Ridgeland along with this? I mean, is there going to be an area for maybe concerts or music or anything
It's
like
interesting that you've asked that question because we're working very hard to build a performing arts center. We have the land already. We've invested about $3 million to buy land, and this particular performing arts center that we're planning on building would seat about 1,200 people. It would be designed for country music concerts or choirs or orchestras or ballet. We have the preliminary design done, and right now we're working with a company for naming rights. Once we get that secured, which we feel like we will soon, then we'll actually have a capital campaign to actually build this facility. Be very similar to the facility at Ole Miss, the Gertrude Ford Center, but a whole lot more modern since you have a lot more modern technology now, better lighting, better sound systems, and all those things. But it'll be a full service performing arts center where there will be rooms for the actors or the performers to have their 18-wheelers and their buses.
Yeah.
There'll be a place for the greenwood rooms for those in places for the people that work for them to do something while they're the performances are going on. So we're really excited about that next phase of what we're trying to do.
Right. Doing a lot for the city of Ridgeland, but right now the main thing is what is going to be on the ballot next Tuesday, June the 3rd, making sure you get out and vote. Yes or no. However, they prefer yes.
We prefer yes.
Yes.
We need 60%
Please.
of those that vote to vote in favor of this. The legislation requires that. And I believe we'll get that. I know that there are so many citizens out there that want this, that know that it's a benefit to the city. I was going to say a while ago, we used to go to a lot of soccer tournaments around the state and other states. And when we went, we always carried the whole family with us. And that's what people do when they come to Ridgeland. They, not just the players that play on the fields, but they have their other children with them, grandparents also. And so they're all staying in the hotels. They're all eating in our restaurants. They're shopping and spending money. And that's good for our economy, and that's good for our quality of life.
Yes. So is the plans that we looked at just a second ago, and let me pull them back up here. Is this going to be the final plans? Or will there be changes to this?
There may be a little bit of change, but mainly that is the way the facility is going to be. We'll have to adjust to be sure we have the drainage the way it needs to be, the parking the way it needs to be. But basically, that is the preliminary design that we'll use as the outline for building it.
And again, we have the pickleball courts, which are going to be here.
That's correct.
Then we have these are the softball fields, and then the baseball fields that you have here.
Right.
And then down here at the bottom,
that's all soccer fields.
All soccer fields.
That's right.
Lots of good things. Chris, is there anything else that you want to add about this?
You know, we just feel like people are really excited about this, and that in order to get it, we've got to get people to vote. And we, of course, to get it, we've got to get people to vote. Yes. But tourism wise, it would be a great boost in the arm. We do very well with our visitation to Ridgeland. We're one of the top destinations in Mississippi to visit, mainly because of our outdoor assets and our lodging and our dining. However, sports tourism is a very big revenue booster. It is the only market that survived COVID, being that when COVID hit and people were not traveling, they were not having reunions, they were not having weddings, they were not having meetings and conferences, we were able to continue marketing and continue thriving because of our sports market. It can survive just about any economy shift that you can put on a destination, because in the long run, if things are good, people are going to play ball. If things are bad, people are going to play ball. If things are indifferent, people are going to play ball.
Yeah.
It is the all-American family outdoor sport.
Right.
And it's a shoe-in. If we can get more tournaments to Ridgeland, our revenues are going to go up, our quality of life is going to go up, and our city services are going to go up because our visitors are paying the tab.
Yeah.
So go vote.
Go vote.
I do want to point out that we have some of the best people running our parks now. They're pristine. When people come here, they want to come back. And that's because of the tremendous staff we have that work so hard to make it the best. And with this expansion, it's just going to get better.
Yes. All right, guys. Well, you heard it from the mayor and the CEO of Explore Ridgeland themselves to get out and vote on June the 3rd for the Freedom Ridge Park expansion referendum. They prefer you vote yes. I can't tell you which way to vote, but they can.
Yes. Vote yes.
But, all right. Well, you guys have a great day. Thank you guys so much for coming and talking to us about it and helping to explain it and educate people on this exciting opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you. You all have a great day. Our First Alert Weather team will be here at 2:30 to give you a look at your forecast. So make sure you are here then, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.